Welcome to this video about Argyle Street and the neighbouring Normandie Tower. Argyle Street is shown here in green in this 1884 map. It used to join with some steps to a road called Compass Street in yellow and had New Road running off it down to King Street shown in orange. We will begin with a photo taken in the direction of the arrow towards the corner of Compass Street, on which was a pub called Mariner's Tavern, which operated from 1854 to 1962. This first set of photos as we work our way towards and into Argyle Street are from 1962 or earlier. This is Compass Street, now the location of Normandie Tower, looking down into Argyle Street in the distance. This is Argyle Street itself as it winds its way down towards its termination at Southgate Lane. Southgate Lane is to the left and below the wall on the left of the picture, and you can see the ruined church of St Peter at Southgate in the centre. This is Southgate Lane and that wall from the last picture, and we're now going to reverse the route we have taken and show 2021 views. So we're entering Argyle Street via a footpath from Southgate Lane, and as we move up a bit we can see Normandie Tower in the distance. The tower disappears behind some trees at this point before reappearing as Argyle Street joins Rouen Road. But as we shall see later, it was not always that convenient to drive vehicles out of Argyle Street. Normandie Tower is a 16-storey building with 95 flats and is seen here from Riverside. It stands exactly where the steps were between Argyle Street and Compass Street. If we return to the first photo, standing on Mariner's Lane with Compass Street going off to the left, the same location today looks like this. Not very helpful, I admit, to identify its location, but to put it into context, I'm standing in Rouen Road and Mariner's Lane followed the route of that footpath down to King Street. This is the 1938 view of Mariner's Lane at that point. Back to Argyle Street, which was originally built in 1864 for coalmen's workers, but by the 1880s significant numbers of workers were employed by the railway. By the mid-1960s, much of the village on the hill had been cleared and redeveloped, with Normandie Tower itself being completed by 1966. But Argyle Street remained and had some renovation works done, giving it something of a stay of execution. Comparing this 1965 picture with the present day, there are similarities in layout, but one point of interest is that the short part of Argyle Street off to the right was once the only way out of the street with vehicles, leading all the way down to King Street near the ferry boat pub. For more on the redevelopment of the wider area, please see my Village on the Hill video, but we can't leave this one without recording Argyle Street's place in history. The University of East Anglia planned to buy the Argyle Street housing in 1979, but on the 6th of December 1978, 40 squatters moved in and one of Britain's longest and biggest squats had begun. Eventually 120 squatters were involved and it became known as the Argyle Street Alternative Republic. Lampposts were painted to look like giraffes and the streets were decorated with rainbows, peace signs and other messages. The squatters formed a cooperative, but plans to sell or lease the houses to the cooperative fell through. In 1984, the City Council decided to demolish the area and develop it for sheltered homes, and a final eviction of squatters occurred in February 1985. A film called Street of Experience was made about the eviction. Earlier, a film called Memoirs of a Survivor had used the street as a location and used squatters as extras. In 2004, a play called The Street was performed in various outdoor locations around the city. By 1986, new housing had replaced the old Victorian terraces, but Argyle Street's place in Norwich's history was assured.